Where's everyone?
Bezat Hashem, coming, I'm catching up. Bezat Hashem, Likrat Shabbat, Erev Shabbat Chodesh, Parshat Ekev. Today is the 19th of the month of Av. We're going to do some sefer from Yosef Yirat Hashem Lerobit, from Rav Moshe Amba. ועל פי זה אפשר לפרש הפסוק. So we discussed till now, he wants to point out that the Mashiach will come and because of the limud of Torah. Because of and that's what Baruch Hashem we see in this generation, something out of ordinary. So many sfarim, so many books, this version, that version, this way and that way, just to get people's attention. And obviously, it's a good siman. It's a good siman that as we know that many already discussed many times that if you calculate, the calculation was the sin was in the last 6 hours of creation. Last 6 hours of creation, you notice, right? Jonathan, when was the sin done? In the last 6 hours of creation, not including Shabbat. Right? Adam Arishon and Chava were created from midday. So from midday till sunset was 6 hours. Right? From sunrise till midday is 6. From midday till sunrise, sunset is 6 hours. So the sin of Adam Arishon was happening in the last 6 hours. And if you calculate, right, it says in the pasuk that 1 day of Hashem is 1,000 days for us, 1,000 years for us. So if you calculate like this, you have 6 days of creation, which would translate 6,000 years of this olam, of this bria. Okay. Now, what is happening in the last 6 hours? So if you calculate, every 6 hours turns out to be of the creation is exactly 250 years. How do you do that? Very simple. You take 1,000 divided into 4, which is 6 hours, represents 6 hours, half a day. So if you take 1,000 divided into 4, so you have 250 years. Now, we're right now holding in the last 250 years, by the way. We are in the last 250 years where Chava caused Adam Rishon to do an Avera, and today, unfortunately, I have to say it unfortunately, today the women, they have for some reason a tendency to fight with their men. When did this happen? So let's say, when is the 6,000 year is over? 6,000 years is over in 215 years. Take 215 years plus 35 years back, where all the problems started, where the men are divorcing, the divorce rate is left and right, because unfortunately we can't handle too much pressure. That's the men are not a woman, but this is it. It's like a siman. And what's happening in the last 35 years? When did the article start? In the late 70s, early 80s. Huh? Forget about the feminist woman. I'm just saying that there is a correlation to everything. The last 250 years, that was the 6 hours where Chava forced Adam Rishon to do the sin, and now all of a sudden there's a tikkun going on here. Something is fishy going on. The last 35, 40 years, the world is going crazy. On one side we have a lot of Torah, which was never, so many Sfarim, was not even common. But you have a book today on everything almost. I have a friend in Queens, he wrote a whole book on just birds. Just kosher birds. Not kosher birds, kosher birds. Every topic is there. Every topic. And Baruch Hashem, they're printing more and they're not stopping. So that is what's going on here. The last 250 years will be constantly hatmanda, constantly learning, and of course it has to be pashut afut. That's what we push with women, to push your man to go learn Torah, because this is the et biyad Mashiach. That's when Mashiach is going to be revealing himself. This is what we discussed till now. The only way, v'nacha alav ruach Elohim, that was the concept, right? Every generation, we said last time, has Mashiach. But what's the problem? The only element that's missing in this Mashiach, v'nacha alav ruach Elohim. Hashem's spirit is not resting on him. Meaning, the generation is not befitting. As we see that many times in the Gemara. We're learning over there in Sotah right now. The other day, this week we learned that there were many times that the Bat Kol came out and said that the Mashiach, this Talmid Chacham is Ra'ui for Shekhinah to sit on him, but the generation is not befitting. If the generation is not befitting, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not touching. And therefore, this is what we're doing here. We're constantly pushing, spreading the Torah, and obviously the Sitra Achra is fighting the other side. Sitra Achra is fighting with, they're going to give you a picture of a big Choshev Talmid Chacham, a big rabbi, going to get up on the television in Israel, and he's going to say, why only the Chilonim has to protect us in the army? Let's send the yeshiva boys also to the army, because it's not fair only Chilonim protecting us. The religious Jews are also being protected. They should send their children to the army. Hashem Yerachem Alav, and this rabbi, and obviously he's not doing it himself. The Sitra Achra got the best of him, unfortunately. But that's the fear. That's the fear of delving ourselves in this concept constantly in this whole battle. I tell everybody, you know what, Habibi, you don't need to live in Israel. There is no mitzvah in living in Israel, not at all, not whatsoever. Okay, according to many, it's actually Avira. According to many, to go back, it's an Avira. Those that are living there could be there, could stay there, but those that are not there, they're allowed to come there. So I don't understand what everybody's fighting for. What do you have to fight? And Rav Yitzchak Yosef already said, if you want to take our children from yeshivot to the army, we're going to do the simple thing: live Israel, live the land. Finish. What's the problem? What is the problem? The land is occupied by the Christians. It's occupied, controlled by the Christians. It's not a Jewish land. The land of Israel is not Jewish. Nobody argues with that. It's not a Jewish. In fact, it's not a Jewish law. Yes, there's a lot of Jews there, but it's not Jewish. You've been later to Israel. What's going on there? I was standing in the Misrat Apnim, and a girl there, literally, you know what Misrat Apnim means? That's like the Federal Plaza in Manhattan, 26 Federal Plaza. Yeah, you would think that she's going to be more respectful. She came in bikini almost dressed. She's the secretary of Misrat Apnim. And she's looking at me and she says, tell me, Rabbi, prove me that you're a Jew. I have to prove her that I'm a Jew. It was a joke of the world. But again, this is the concept. The learning Torah is the ikar. With this whole battle, which bothers me, and I said, soon we're going to be hearing, I already predicted that long time ago, that we're going to have Rabbanim endorsing to go into the army. Shalom. There's no reason for a Jew to go to any army. There's only one way. We are here to learn Hashem, constantly to learn what Hashem is all about, and the only way you could do that by learning Torah. You cannot go to the army and you're going to learn Hashem. That's not going to happen. Yes, you might see a miracle here and there. Somebody tells me, if the land of Israel, if Hashem is not happy with the land of Israel, how come they're winning all these wars? They're successful, right? Hashem is not happy with Israel, so what? Because that's what I teach. I said, this is not what Hashem wants. Because Hashem says it all clearly in the Gemara. You cannot come to Israel until I call you. So why is Hashem, all this question, this is a famous question. Rabbi Sofer, are you crazy? Why we have all those wars, 67, 73, and 72, all this time we're winning? I said, Yaakov, close the door, please. Thank you, close the door, thank you. I said, very simple. Hitler and Mach Shemo Zichro was also successful. Just because Hitler was successful doesn't mean that's what Hashem wants. But he was successful. You're right. But that you don't have to celebrate that. So, okay, we have the land right now. What is going on in the land? Shem Rachem, with all the Yemenite children that were kidnapped and Rahman al sold and who knows what, experimented on. What's going on right now? Bibi Netanyahu is priding himself that he's experimenting on 6 million Jews. So it's very simple things. It's very simple things to understand. Only you have to do open your eyes. The country is devised to destroy the Jews. It's not devised to save the Jews. So here, Horaya, you have Rabbanim already with beards telling people, go to the army. Religious Jews, boys, stop learning yeshiva, go to the army. That's not going to happen. Mashiach ain't going to come until we have Nacha Ruach Elohim. How does the Hashem spirit is going to come on a person? Only by involved constantly in Limud Torah. ועל פי זה אפשר לפרש הפסוק והוציאו את האבן הראש התשועות חן חן. So there's a pasuk that says that tells us that they will take out the head or the top or the more relevant stone, and then it's going to be teshuot chen chen la. This will be the teshua, the chen chen. Again, the word chen chen is mentioned here, right? So what chen chen is the opposite of Noach, right? Chen chen, Noach. So what is that? Ki benoach atzmo neemar chen echad. When it comes to Noach in Parashat Bereshit, it tells us only regarding that he is only saving himself between him and Hashem. V'Noach matzah chen. Right? As it says over there, Noach found favor in Hashem's eyes. רמז, כי זה היה התיקון שבין אדם למקום שבפסוק זה פסוק פרשת בראשית עליו עצמו. So there was a tikkun, right, that Noah had completed between him and Hashem, coming close to Hashem. ופסוק אלה תולדות נוח, and the pasuk comes to Noah. These are the generations of Noah. Noah התחלת פרשת Noah, right? It's Nach. Or Noah I guess Noah of the beginning of the parashat Noah, parashat Acheret ala Achairim Ayamim Davka. So he says the parashat Noah is actually talking about now our generation, the generation right before Mashiach. Okay, that's Acheret Ayamim Davka. ואומנם בדור האחרון יהיה גם תיקון שבין אדם לחברו. There will be I guess repairing between the interpersonal relationship between friends. וזה על ידי תלמוד תורה כנזכר למעלה. And that's going to be done through learning the Torah. What do you have today? You have today people who would think, right? In the olden days, by the way, if you Chas v'Shalom didn't keep Shabbat, didn't keep Torah, nobody wants to talk to you. A religious person will not even look at you. Right? The Gemara actually declares a person who's Mechal Shabbat Varesia, if he touches your wine that's not Mebushal, you're not allowed to drink it. Right? So what did that do? That accomplished one big thing, distance. We were distancing, a Talmid Chacham would distance himself from Tumah, from anything that has to do with Tumah. The person who's not keeping Torah, he is Tumah, he's spreading Tumah, I don't want him in my neighborhood. Right? What is happening today? Totally opposite. Today something happened. All the Talmidei Chachamim learning Torah, and they're constantly encouraging themselves to go out and Lubavitch, for instance, putting out tefillin, in yeshiva, right? All those videos inspire all those collaborations of the Orthodox Jews going out and luring in all the fish that went around the world, that were having all the pleasures. And where does that come from? Because of this is what the tafkid of the Torah. I guess can't say that they didn't learn Torah properly 100 years ago. Can't say that they learned much better than us. But you see that something is happening, something fishy is happening, and again, it's all to be movil. It's all bringing us. All of a sudden, you say yeshiva boys learning with not yeshiva boys, and chavrutot, and making all this coming, bringing closer people to Hashem. And here. The question is more than that. The question is, how come this not religious person coming to the rabbi to learn? What's happening? Right? Besides the fact that the Rabbanim in the olden days would, do me a favor, Horai Trotsky. Where's Trotsky from? It was he was a little bit crazy boy, a little bit. The Rebbe pushed him away. He became a communist. Became the most mass murderer. Trotsky, a Jew. He was pushed away by his Rebbe. That was the famous story, right? That Rabbi Chafetz Chaim said about it, the Rebbe who pushed away the Trotsky. What happened? 100 years ago, there was some kind of disconnect. Today, you have these guys like Trotsky, left and right. People are talking against Hashem, and yet they're coming to Shiur, and they come to Minyan, and all of that. That's what Hashem is doing. Why? Because Hashem taking away the stone away from them. So it's both. In the Talmidei Chachamim had a stone, stay away from me. Boom! All of a sudden, come, I will learn with you. Now the people who are totally against Torah, they're coming to learn what's going on. Again, the same reason Hashem took away the stone from their hearts. Okay, this is what Hashem took away, that Yetzer Hara, that stone that was preventing from people who are not learning Torah to start learning Torah. Okay? Now what happens is, because the breaking of the stone, chipping away the stone, that was preventing us to become close to each other, friend to friend, now all of a sudden the person is coming close to Hashem also. Right? This is the Havala, this was like the starting point. The Talmid Chacham, all of a sudden learning with the Buram Aretz and totally against God, and all of a sudden this was like the intermediary. He made peace with the interpersonal relationship, and that led to coming close to Hashem. בזה תזכו והוציאה את האבן הראש, זו האבן השתייה שבבית המקדש, שממנו הושטת העולם ורומזת על בניין בית המקדש. So that's what we're talking about over there. This is what we're talking about, the taking away the stone and the pasuk. What is that stone? That stone that will come and bring us the Mashiach, Beit HaMikdash. Because that's the stone that is right there in Yerushalayim, in that place, right? That Even HaShatiyah, that actually, the way the Gemara explains it, once they removed it, it's going to flood the world. And Masechta Sanhedrin talks about it, that the 6,000 year, or after Beit HaMashiach, the world has to be cleansed, and that's the water that's going to be cleansing the world. V'tevat teshuot otiyot hamaftehem tet v'tat v'esh. So that word over there that's used, it's the word of that is giving out fire. Tat rashi tevot Talmud Torah. Tat is a tav, is actually only that will be accomplished by Talmud Torah, by learning Torah constantly pressuring on yourself, impressing on yourself to the importance of Limud Torah. Amityaches le'esh. The Torah is obviously the fire. Kikatuv haloko dvari ka'esh. It says Hashem declaring, and the Torah words as fire. Ubischut Talmud Torah teshuot chen la. And because of the merit of Limud Torah, that will have the impact of I guess there will be a full complete redemption. Chen otiyot Noach b'lashon chen kful b'mira b'yamenu amen. So why does it says the word chen, which will be a good thing, chen, that also the words from the Noach, and it's repeated to tell you it is speedily to come, Bezat Hashem. Okay, let's do halacha, guys.